Hey, it's Megan McFadden from Mischievous Monsters. Today we're going to make radish bucket gardens and also plant the rhubarb plant I got on Saturday. But first I'm going to show you the progress of my seedlings and talk about what happened yesterday that I did not mention yesterday. Oops. Here are my sweet potato plants. I'm not going to water them as much anymore, and hopefully the coloring looks a little better, so I think it was just overwatered. Here are my pepper plants. Nothing has happened to them. My eggplants and basils are not doing anything right now. My leafy greens are still the same. My tomato plants are... nothing has happened with my tomato plants. This is the rhubarb plant I'm going to plant today. And my gnome. Hello, Sabrina. The flowers I just got are having a disagreement with me, especially these daisies. These gourds and cucumbers are just not coming up yet. Okay. Alright. I found a screw in my pumpkins, butternut squash. That's the only update I have for that. In case you needed any reminders, this was the first thing I planted. Everything is sprouted here, and the beautiful radishes would love to get out of this little pot and go into the wilderness. Swiss chard, beets, kale, and lettuce. Here's my other plants I planted on the same day as what I just showed you. So I gave away 2 cabbage and 2 Brussels sprouts plants to my mom. So all of the things are sprouted out for the cabbage and Brussels sprouts. The parsnips just started sprouting a day or 2 ago. And most of my carrots are starting to come up in little bitty grasslings. Hello, teddy bear sunflower seed. I don't even know if that's a teddy bear sunflower seed, but that's the first thing that's coming up. And look, there's a little green. Green, green, and green. I think we're getting somewhere with these seedlings. If you need any reminders, I did mention the radishes would come up first. And lo and behold, I planted this less than 2 weeks ago and it's almost overflowing the pots. In terms of my watermelon and cucumbers, I got this little ones right here. Hello, pickling cucumbers, how you doing? Hello, serpent. Cucumber, how you doing? In terms of the beans, found one sproutling with a tenderay beans right there. Look at that. For my broccoli and cauliflower, one thing started sprouting. Congratulations! We're having some cauliflower. And for my melons, we got one little sproutling right here for the honeydew melon, and that's it for now. Hello, hi. Hello. So the summary of yesterday. So there was this big kind of bit of rain that came. That told me when it was about to rain, hey Megan, I got strawberries for you. Cool. Look at me filling up this patch with strawberries. And then it was starting to almost pour. My dad was like, Megan, I'm coming. Not my friends. I'm coming. And then we planted these. Rhubarb is here. And then my asparagus. I expected some more by now, but I'll pick some up tomorrow. Or I'll pick some tomorrow. So this is a big dirt pile. We're gonna fill the buckets with this dirt that is behind one of the sheds around my house. And then we're gonna plant the radishes. Before we do that, we have a few steps to do. So step 1, I got some rocks for the buckets. This is after we put holes in the bottom. I'll show you in a second. One of the most common mistakes with bucket gardening is people forget to put holes in the buckets. So you put, so there's 4 holes in a 5-gallon. Then some rocks underneath. So the rocks are so when it's a windy day, it doesn't fall over. It's more important with bigger pots, but you still do this practice regardless of the pot size. Next, you use landscaping fabric. You put it on the bottom in between the rock and the dirt layer to prevent erosion. I'm sorry about not cutting it beforehand, but I was rushing before it started to rain to get it out, and I didn't see an obvious scissors by where it was at. I'm just using stereotypical school scissors. You can use whatever you want, but there are fabric scissors out there, but that's more for like quilting, not for landscaping. It doesn't have to be the super perfect layer. As long as it's around the circumference of the bucket, you are good. Let's head to the dirt pile, but first I have a secret ingredient to show you. In case you forgot my banana peel jar, 1 banana peel will go in the bucket right on top of the fabric, landscaping fabric, before I put the soil on top. Just drop it on top. And then when you put dirt on it, make sure it's on top of the soil. For some reason it's been super windy, so that might affect the soil going below the fabric, but we'll see. 1 bucket down, 9 to go. There's some plants growing in the dirt, so there's a good chance I'll have weeds, but since I know what they look like, I know what to look for when I pull them. This is gonna be my last bucket. I'm getting way too tired. Plus, it's gonna start to get dark by the time I'm done planting the first batch of the radishes, let alone both. Say goodbye to your buddy's radish plants. This is a really good sign that they need to be planted. You see that the roots are growing underneath the seedling packs. That means it needs to go in a bigger spot now. 2 things. 1, when I was looking at the ad or the advice for bucket gardening, it said 10 plants per 5-pound pail. For some reason, they got their 3.5 and 5-gallon pails mixed up, so I have a couple of them intermixed in here. 2, my mom took 4 of my pails, so now I have a total of 16 instead of 20. And 3, hopefully 2 of these plantlings will do okay in the thing right there. And then lastly, you see how fragile these are? I was just carrying them over there and they ripped. So be super careful with these plantlings. You don't want to rip them apart when you don't want them ripped. So I'd almost bring the whole tray with you. Lastly, it kind of looks like cobwebs on the bottom. I don't know why that is, but hopefully that's not a bad thing. That's just part of the growth of the radishes. But we'll see. Planting these would be very simple. You can just dig your hand enough for it to fit. Then you drop it down there and then put the soil around it. Make sure there's no air pockets so it grows okay. This is all done. Only 8 more plantlings to go. These yellow looking ants are all over the soil. I'm hoping that doesn't cause another ant issue by my house. I'm just gonna rather err on the side of it will help the plant instead of make it worse. 5 are done out of 5. So 10 plantlings are in 5-gallon buckets, but 1 happens to be a 3.5-gallon bucket because I'm using the box that I accidentally got instead of wasting it. I'm gonna make a hole in here for the rhubarb. The rest of this is gonna be a herb garden. Before you plant something, you put the plant in the hole to preview it will fit. In this case, I'm probably just gonna smush it in the hole because it's wide enough. I want me to smush it a little more because I'm getting a little tired. It's getting to be sunset. I watered it with a watering can. Usually I'm a little bit more perfectionist on putting in the ground deeper, maybe putting water underneath the thing before you put it in like you do with trees, but I'm running out of time before it becomes dark. So I did the lazy route and just watered it on top. My cats think I'm taking too long. Well, I keep getting distracted, but with emails and notifications. That's okay. 2 more things. You might have noticed that I pretty much almost have an 100% plantling rate, that about everything comes up when they're all done. So there are 3 reasons why that's happening. 1, I put extra seeds in them, partially because some of them were seeds from last year and otherwise I only had that much room for those seeds. Eventually I saved some for my mom, but now I know. 2, I water them every day, and overwatering is the death of a lot of plants out there. But I'll give you a little secret. This is called a water bottle. Yes, they are bad for the environment if you want to be so hypercritical about the environment. You see this. You can get 50 to 75 little plantlings with this little size water bottle. Just do a drippy, 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 drip once a day, unless it's like obviously raining on it. So those are my tips to you to make sure your plantlings grow. Stay tuned for next time. I need to plant my flowers that I got at the local nurseries yesterday. Plus, I need to do the rest of my bucket gardens for the watermelon radish plants. These are the royal purple ones that I planted like a little over 3 weeks ago, but the watermelon radishes are almost overflowing, so I need to plant them very soon. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. Stay tuned for more. Bye.